welcome to another direct to review. This one, of course, is always the maverick of the group because you never know what it's going to be.
We don't even know what it's going to
Yeah,
be.
Celeste and I are here with you today. We're doing kind of a mashup of a musical Monday and a holiday special because, you know what? Christmas is right around the corner, Celeste.
It's coming up real fast.
A little too fast for both of us because,
I was not ready.
We were not ready. All right, so the one we're doing today, we need to preface with, this is an old movie. We're talking old. We're talking
It
old.
is a direct-to-review in the sense that
It's on.
unless you, have a copy, you can, only stream it? Can you find this
basically.
in stores anymore?
Yeah, you can find it in stores. Actually, it was more of a recent thing that they let you start finding this one in stores because of one of the scenes in it. It actually was edited often. It used to be shown on CBS and it used to be shown a few other places, but then the Abraham Lincoln scene had to be removed and it would reduce the runtime and things would happen. So they actually stopped showing it until recently they brought it back. So, this was a movie made in 1942 called Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn.
Now, most of the questions that always come from Holiday Inn, the first thing that people ask, the first thing hold on. The first thing I asked was not if there was blackface because I was not expecting that when it came up, but was whether or not this had anything to do with the Holiday Inn motel franchise.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that existed.
I don't think it does.
I don't think
I
it does.
don't know, though. I've done the research many times. Anyway, so yes, there's blackface in it. This is what I was talking about in terms of the Abraham Lincoln scene. You have to understand, this is 1942.
Which, if you think about it, that was only,
People are still doing vaudeville. That's still a thing. More importantly...
That wasn't even 100 years ago, and we were still doing blackface. We were in World War II, and we were still doing blackface.
And there is going to be some effigies in there that are very offensive to a lot of people. But please, if you do watch it, take it for what it is, which is an Irving Berlin masterpiece with Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby.
It is an Irving Berlin masterpiece.
With the
blackface.
Yeah, it has blackface. We just need to get that out of the way because A, we obviously don't condone blackface and don't find it entertaining in any which way. And the entire time it's on screen, we cringe and look away and have a hard time with it. But if you can move past that point, it's a good movie. I've watched it for a very long time. I've been a fan of it for a very long time. And the first time I actually watched it, it did not have blackface.
Oh,
because I watched the edited version. So
you're I like this movie. Oh, wait.
It is out there. So if you wanted to watch one without a horribly offensive reminder of a time to which a loving, caring Bing Crosby was then made into a blackface character, I would suggest going and finding it. But anyways, we're going to move forward with this because we're here. And, holiday movies are supposed to make you feel great. And this one does that, except for the blackface. So yeah. All right, so this is a story about Jim Hardy and Ted Hanover, Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire, who are both crooners on the nightclub scene. Jim, Bing, is wanting to get out of it. He thinks he's going to be marrying his partner, their dancing partner, Linda Mason.
That was Lila, wasn't it?
Was it? Oh yeah, Lila Dixon, who's playing by Virginia Dale.
How many times have you seen this?
I got this confused because I was looking at the rundown on IMDb and they had it out of order. But anyways, played by Virginia Dale, who no one knows, so don't worry about it. I just feel like I need to say her name.
She's probably dead.
Oh God, yes. But so she decides not to. She's going to instead marry Fred Astaire, Ted Hanover. So he decides to go out and work on a farm. That doesn't quite work out for him. He finds out it's a lot harder than he thinks.
Poor Jim.
So he opens up a nightclub called the Holiday Inn after he leaves the sanitarium. And
which they noted in such a comedic way.
Yeah.
He was like, I have some great ideas that I came up with in the sanitarium, in a letter.
And then, so this Holiday Inn, they only do shows and only open on holidays. And it's Absolutely fantastic. That's where Marjorie Reynolds as Linda Mason comes in as his dancing and singing partner. This is the first, I believe, the first time we ever hear the song "White Christmas," and it's a classic, honestly. And most people don't watch it. Most people don't see it.
I don't know if I would consider this a Christmas movie per se.
It's a holiday movie.
It's a holiday movie.
Because literally it's about all of the holidays.
There's 4th of July, there's Lincoln's birthday, there's
Valentine's
Washington's
Day.
birthday.
It is definitely one
Thanksgiving.
of the... It's an interesting movie. It's an interesting musical because the musical aspect of it doesn't drive the story as much as it is a background to the story.
But they are musicians and dancers.
Right, which pretty much everything back in the day was a kind of a musical because they were always about singing and dancing, but you had to be a triple threat anyways.
They were so talented.
They were incredibly talented unless you
We have failed them.
Oh my god, yes. That's not a question. So this movie, let me just I've watched it way more than Celeste has. I've pretty much every holiday ever I've watched it at least twice.
4th of July, Lincoln's birthday.
Oh, of course. Not Lincoln's birthday. Because I feel like that one's actually a disservice. But, so, it's just a fun movie. I don't know, if you've ever watched a Fred Astaire movie, you have to understand that he plays such great roles, and it's because he's such an adept actor. Both him and Bing Crosby, I feel like, were ahead of their time because they played off of each other, which is something that would normally be seen in more of a modern film. Back in those days, everyone was a really hammy actor. They were usually pretty bad at like expressing anything. You kind of see that with like Virginia Dale, or the one that I always forget her name, Marjorie Reynolds. They're both kind of like stiff. Mm-hmm. They're like, it's really big. It's really big.
Those are our Atlantic voices.
Yeah, and that's because that was the time. That's what the way they did it. Marjorie Reynolds is actually better than Virginia Dale, but it's still very, very, very big performances.
Wasn't Bing Crosby the one who later did have a show with a like male cohort where they would kind of joke off of each other? Was that someone else?
Yeah. No. You're thinking not a show. They did a series. It was Crosby and Hope, Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. They would end up.
They were like the
together.
first ones.
They were. Yeah, they were the guys. These were the Road 2s. Now, if you've watched Family Guy, I'm trying to find a specific one that maybe. And here's the thing. Bing Crosby is still being credited for films right now, so it's really difficult to look through his stuff because he has been in almost every movie for over 70 or 60 or 70 years, like not even kidding you, because of his songs. They give him film credit. I think that's a contract thing. Anyways, so Bing Crosby and Bob Hope did these Road 2 series. So it's like Road to Hong Kong. I think one of them was like Road to... I'm trying to remember it. One of them that I've watched that I absolutely loved. Pretty much all of them are amazing. But, yeah, I don't remember what the other one's called. But it's like to a magical area. I can't remember. Oh, God, it's going to bug me. It's going to bug me, Celeste. It's another Road 2. Give me something here, people.
I think you're looking at the wrong place. Let me
Road to Hollywood.
this.
Road to Utopia. Hold on. I think it's coming to me. Because, no, not Road to Morocco. Road to Zanzibar.
Road to Morocco.
Road to Singapore. Mind you, there were a ton of Road 2 movies. But it's like... It's up in the Himalayas. It's hit.
Road to Singapore. Road to Zanzibar. Road to Morocco.
Keep going.
Road to Utopia. Road to Rio.
Almost.
Road to Bali.
No.
Road to Hong Kong.
Damn it, no.
That's all that
That's
they
it?
have.
Oh, well.
What are you going to do?
I have completely misconstrued this complete thing, so I'm going to say Road to Bali.
Maybe it was that one.
It was that one. Anyways.
But anyway, they were like the original
They were.
duo.
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
What are you going to say?
That is That is incorrect.
Okay, well, who was...
I'm trying to remember. I think it's Oral and Hardy.
If you have a point to make, you should
I
probably
know.
be more prepared to make
I'm
it.
just saying that I can't seem to get my computer to bring up what I need, and I'm spelling things wrong.
Is Oral and Hardy the like bigger guy and the short guy?
There we go. Orrel. Laurel and Hardy. Mother of God, what is wrong with me? Why can't I remember things today? No, Stan Laurel and
It is the big guy, yeah, the big guy and the little guy.
Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. They were actually actors from early 1800s through.
Not early,
Not,
probably
late
late.
1800s. Sorry, early 18. No. These guys are 400 years old. They're currently still working. It's crazy
To have a career like that.
No, these guys were the originals. Mind you, they actually came together the same as Bing and Bob, where they were put together. They weren't a natural team. Bing and Bob had done a couple of things, but they loved how they worked together, so they eventually came together on that one.
So all that to say, Bing Crosby and
has
Fred
always
Astaire,
been ahead of their time.
they're just there.
Yeah. Now, mind you, Fred Astaire used to be, if you watch like his early films, like Top Hat and Gay Divorcee, things like that, he is more transatlantic. He does tend to feel like big, boisterous, because he's from the musical theater, so he doesn't need to worry about his acting as much as he needs to worry about his dancing and
singing
and what little singing he does. But when
He's
you get
still
him,
being credited on everything too.
yeah, Fred Astaire.
Yeah, Boss Baby, Gilmore Girls.
Here's the thing: Fred Astaire has the most tragic story in Hollywood. The most tragic story. This man was known as one of the nicest men. So let me start with a quick story from Debbie Reynolds. So Debbie
Rest in
Reynolds.
peace, Debbie Reynolds.
So Debbie Reynolds once said in an interview that Gene Kelly, when she worked with Gene Kelly on Singing in the Rain, he was very, very particular and very difficult to work with. More importantly, he would just go irate when you got something wrong in a scene. So she had a horrible breakdown. Mind you, she was very young at this point.
Wasn't it her first movie?
I believe it was. I can't.
She
say
was.
for sure.
She was a model. She had won some beauty competitions, and that was her first movie.
So, while she was on set, she basically had a horrible breakdown and ran from her scene and went and hid underneath a piano. She was stuck underneath this piano. So as she was there, she just saw some nice wingtip shoes walk up and go, "Hey kid, what's going on? You all right?" And it was Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire coaxed her out from underneath the piano and told her, you're doing fine. You just got to get through this. It's going to be okay. Was there for her. And this was a common thing that you heard about him, honestly. It was something that you heard often. But when a star hits their peak and then movies start coming out that they can't compete with, they go into obscurity. And then in the 70s, someone saw him at a grocery store. They said, "Hey, are you Fred Astaire?" He goes, "I used to be."
Oh.
He was a dance instructor a little bit, did a few things, but he died in a little apartment, no one knowing he was even there. And about 3 years after he died, his movies resurged.
Oh, poor guy.
And that happened often. People like Bing Crosby had a good longevity because they prepared themselves for the future. People like Fred Astaire didn't quite do that.
But even Bing Crosby wasn't too known by the time that he passed away either.
He was quite well known, and that's just because his name is synonymous with things. Not because he was particularly good at anything. And that's the thing. You could be the best dancer in the world, but if you're not going to branch yourself out like Bing did. Bing was a good singer. He was an actor. He owned different things. He had his own variety show. He had his own radio show. He had plenty of places for him to lose credit on. He could my show gets canceled, but I still have my movies. Oh, I hit my mic. My radio show got canceled, but I still have my TV show. Oh, I got, it took a while to whittle him down, but eventually he was a nostalgia point. Everyone I'm just falling apart here, guys.
Some noises from Leonard.
Everyone pretty much knows Bing Crosby purely because of White Christmas. And that's where this all started, right here in Holiday Inn.
Oh, that's right.
And they would use the set again for White Christmas. So it would be the exact set that was in the scene where they actually go to the inn for I think it's the general or the sergeant? I think it's the sergeant, where they end up spending the whole time in White Christmas. Is actually the same inn from Holiday Inn. But that would happen all the time because, you'd have to reuse sets because you just have such quick turnarounds. Nowadays we do movies in 3 years period. Back then they would do them in 6 months. You had contracts to keep, so you got to go. And they had no choice. They had to do something about it. So, but yeah, oh man, I could talk all day on these old actors and the old movies because honestly, there's so much to them. It's never just the movie, and that's what I love about this stuff. Because sure, it was a well-shot movie. It had fantastic music and some blackface. We have to kind of acknowledge and
Can I share my story about the first time I encountered this movie?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so it was last year, December 23rd, 2016. Exactly. So I was already not feeling great. I got let out of work early because Christmas was in a couple days. So they were like, just go ahead, get out of here. And I was like, okay, I will. I feel like crap. So Leonard gets home with his sister. He puts on Holiday Inn while he's making coffee. I don't watch the entire movie until I see this man in blackface appear on the screen. And I was like, that's someone in blackface. Oh my god. This is so racist. I don't know if I've ever really seen this in a movie before.
Yeah, when you first see it and you just see that can be a little shocking.
I Snapchatted it. That was like racist AF.
Yeah. So I'm kind of reading a little bit of the background. So when Irving Berlin came up with... he signed an exclusive contract with Paramount Pictures to write songs for a film musical based on his idea of an inn that opened only on public holidays. So he actually had this idea to do this.
He was like, guys, it would be great.
But he thought the song and it's one of the worst songs in the movie, called Be Careful, It's My Heart. And it's the part where Fred Astaire is dancing with
Linda.
Linda. And
they break his heart.
They break his heart. It's so sad. Anyways.
It is the drama.
The song apparently did well, but obviously White Christmas blew the crap out of it. And so did Happy Holidays, which hadn't been heard before.
Happy Holidays.
You got to think about this for a second. These are songs that we grew up with.
That the people before us have grown up with.
Yeah, they're just known.
And the people before us have grown up with.
But these were brand spanking new hits. Like you're talking pop music. That's what it was considered. Basically, was pop music. It was original pop, and that's crazy.
That is insane.
Oh man, that just hits you. But anyways, so the movie obviously ends on a good note because all of them do, with everything working out and a big musical number, and that's fantastic. A couple of things that I want to point out, particular in dance numbers throughout this. One of the more famous dance numbers called the Firecracker Dance that Fred Astaire does. It's supposed to be in the movie. He was supposed to be dancing with Linda, right?
Yes.
And she doesn't show up because there was sabotage involved, because Bing is trying to keep her from going to Hollywood and all this stuff. Well, it's actually like a super dangerous dance because there's like firecrackers going off, and underneath his feet are literal explosions. Like it's crazy. It's a really cool scene. I think it's hailed as one of the best dance numbers in a movie. I think it's like it's at least up there. It's in the top 5 for sure.
Definitely most terrifying.
Yeah. But of course, Fred Astaire, he doesn't give a flying crap. He just dances, and he's amazing
with the
at
explosives under his feet.
And throwing explosives.
It's fine. We're fine.
It's all good. So there are just so many cool little scenes like that, too.
I also love how, aware the woman is. I feel like she's so ahead of her time.
Right? Yeah, we definitely need to talk about that because she is just so in it.
Linda is like, oh, I love you, Jim. But Linda's also like, you need to leave me to be free to choose whatever I want.
Yeah, and like that's the one thing she's always like you could have just talked to me about this. Why don't you trust me just because we're engaged?
Yeah.
And
Why'd you go behind my back?
You could have just told me, and I'd been like, well, no, I'm not going to go because I'm engaged to you, and blah blah blah. But instead, what he does is he tries to do these big convoluted things that normally happens in these old movies, and what ends up happening is she's like, yeah, this is stupid. I'm leaving.
Screw you. I'm going to Hollywood because you're a jerk.
Exactly. And that's fantastic.
Yeah. You didn't see that in the maybe it was the time though, because in 42 we're involved in World War II.
Yeah.
Women are starting to go to work. Women are the primary ones at home now.
Exactly. We've had a year of this, the draft and everything, and we're forward in this, and I believe this movie came out in August of 42. So we're pretty far in there.
Mm-hmm. Almost a year in. Almost a year to Pearl Harbor.
But I think also people give a lot of old movies bad raps because there were quite a few strong female characters. I think we just don't point them out as often as we should. There's a movie from, I believe, 30s or the 40s. It's called The Great Balls of Fire. It's basically about a woman who tries to basically fight the mob. It's fantastic. Mind you, it's Barbara Stanwyck, so I'm not a big Barbara Stanwyck fan.
I don't even know who that is.
It was remade so many dang times. Lord. I can't even find it because it's been remade like 90 times. Barbara Stanwyck is a very rough character. She is... Hold on. She's right here. So Barbara Stanwyck is your normal...
She was in Double Indemnity?
Yes. So these were her nicknames: Missy, the Queen, and Babs.
So apparently she was perfect.
She was a badass woman. She was also someone you didn't want to meet and piss off because, yeah, she'll let you know. Ball of Fire. There we go. Ball of Fire.
No, Balls of Fire.
Not balls. Actually, this might be the remake that she was in.
Wait, she was in a movie and then she remade the movie?
So this movie, I think we need to watch it because I think you need to understand what exactly happened.
The original or the remake?
I have no clue. That's the hardest part. So I'm going to go with this one. This is 41. Gary Cooper, yeah, this is the original. So this one, she basically is going after the mob, and she's supposed to be this strong, independent woman, and she plays a strong, independent woman, even though it ends up becoming a love story between her and Gary Cooper. She is a very strong person in this. She has to defend herself.
Get it, girl?
Because Gary Cooper's character is a professor. And he doesn't want to have to get in the middle of all that because he doesn't know how to get in the middle of all that.
I'm just a man of the books.
Yeah. So, and it's like, it's kind of like a different version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because she's this woman that gets kind of trapped away and there are these 7 professors that have to keep her safe and take care of her. And while the mob is going after a really weird, but it's worth a watch if you're looking for a movie that's from the 40s about a strong female character. Yeah. I have seen some very weird older movies. This one is one of the weirder ones just because of the way that they set it up for you. And then, of course, they remake it not too long later because I don't know why.
We should watch both of them and then compare them.
I kid you freaking not. They are 100% the same.
Then were they just released?
They were released 1 year apart.
Well,
they were released 1 year apart.
So did they make Ball of Fire and then after Ball of Fire came out, they remade Ball of Fire?
I don't remember how it went because I remember I looked it up once. I was trying to find something to watch and I was like, "Oh, this looks like a good one." And then I found not too long later another movie. I don't remember. I think it might have been called the same thing, but yeah, I watched. I started watching it and I'm like, "Wait a minute." Yeah, no. So this was not with her in it. It was called A Song Is Born with Danny Kaye and Virginia Mayo, and it came out actually in '48. So it was sometime a little bit later, not too long after it, not like 10 years.
Remake it.
Yeah, with Danny Kaye, and they instead of I think they decided to make it more about music, except they didn't. It was the same damn movie, and it was actually worse because Danny Kaye could not play the part. Virginia Mayo could not play the part. Like, they were really bad. They actually, in this one, they include Benny Goodman. What's his name? Well, I got
old actors.
Sorry. Tommy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, Louis Armstrong, Lionel Hampton, and Benny Carter. These were all like major...
Louis Armstrong, that sounds familiar.
Louis Armstrong is the trumpeter.
There you go. That's the one I know. And Tommy Dorsey. I know that one.
And then they also had Charlie Barnett, Mel Powell, Louis Belson, the Golden Gate Quartet, Russo and the Samba Kings, blah, 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 blah. Nobody
Any
knows what I'm talking about.
relation to Carol Burnett?
No.
Well, then what's the point?
Exactly. But they had all these like big name.
And it sucked.
Yeah, it was not great. The songs were great. That's about it.
Touching things.
We're getting off track here because, like I said, I could jump from A to B to B to C to C to D to back to A. So we're going to go back to A right now, which is Holiday Inn, Irving Berlin's Holiday Inn, which is fantastic. Highly recommend. It's on Amazon Prime right now for free. And I'm not sure if that's just during the holiday season, but highly recommend. Obviously, we prefaced with it has blackface. It has some very uncomfortable racist moments. So just
But you know, like the schools that are banning To Kill a Mockingbird, don't be like them.
Exactly.
Give it a chance. This is history.
More importantly, when you get to see Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire, which I'm pretty sure this is the only time you actually get to see them together, which I will correct myself if I'm wrong later. It's fantastic. These are two titans at their time. He was the king of dance, for white people. And Bing Crosby was the king of everything, crooning, basically. And they come together on this incredible little film that I feel like doesn't get enough play. And now that it's streaming, I hope that it gets more. I hope that there are people that are going to go watch it and enjoy it and try to negate some of the poor decisions.
But again, you can't be soft. You have to look at what makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah. So
read To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what? We have to face what we've done in the past to know what we can do in the future. And this is exactly what that is. You know, we don't ever want to go back to that moment, so we need to be able to move forward from that moment. And that is acknowledging that it happened.
It did happen. We're not going to deny it up in here.
Exactly. And it may make you uncomfortable, but highly recommend getting uncomfortable just to be able to enjoy this. You'll get over it. It'll get past you. You'll be fine. Anyways.
If anything, watch it for the shock factor.
Watch it for the shock. Watch it for the shock factor. We do not, at Director Review, we do not endorse watching it for the shock factor. Because it's actually not that shocking. It's actually a very short scene.
I was pretty shocked.
Well, first time you watch it, yeah, it's pretty shocking. But after that, you realize that it's only like minute 40, minute 50.
Yeah, it's for a song, but it's still like, what? I don't think I'd ever seen it before
they
either.
Actually set it up as Bing Crosby saying, yeah, I didn't want to do blackface, but now I got to hide her. So I guess
now we got to do blackface.
I mean, mind you, everyone else in that damn club is in blackface, so obviously they meant to do it.
Everyone's in blackface.
Yeah, yeah. And also, you know, it has a Thanksgiving song in it.
It does have a Thanksgiving song.
Which is rare.
You know, Bob's Burgers dedicates themselves to a Thanksgiving song. It seems like
It's
every Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving for everybody, except for Europeans. Yeah, I just sang. Get over it.
No, my favorite is Pass The cranberry sauce or have mashed potatoes.
Oh, so here we go. I was actually going through Wikipedia, and at the very bottom,
Blackface controversy.
I'm just going to read this whole entry. This is straight up per Wikipedia. Beginning in the 1980s, some broadcasts of the film have entirely omitted the Abraham musical number staged at the end for Lincoln's birthday because of its depiction of blackface minstrel shows, incorporating images and behaviors that are now considered offensive. However, because Turner Classic Movies airs films uncut and unedited, the network has left the Abraham number intact during the screenings of Holiday Inn. AMC also aired the film intact before they became an advertiser-supported channel. To avoid advertised objection, they edited the version that now airs annually on AMC. So honestly, if you want to see the full one, you can watch it on Amazon Prime, or apparently you can wait for it to show up on AMC edited.
There you go.
There you go. We got you a solution. You don't want to watch it with the blackface? Don't. You got it. Apparently there's a colorized version. I would hate that.
Oh, I would hate that.
Yeah, I love the black and white. I think that makes
There's just something
it's just
special.
nice. You never see it anymore. And it's like true black and white, so it's really, really, really cool. I love that stuff. I love the film stock you can't get those true blacks anymore in the actual film because it's just the grain is so tight and it looks so good on screen, and plus they used to burn the crap out of their actors to be able to get enough light in there.
More light!
Oh boy. All right, so we got holiday stuff coming up. We've got a special on Friday that we're going to be recording on Wednesday. Bahubali 2.
The conclusion.
Yay.
Literally the name of the movie.
Oh, but we have a treat for all of you for the holidays. Make sure to tune in on Christmas or anytime afterwards, obviously, to listen to us react to watching Star Wars Holiday Special. It's happening.
It's happening. I've never seen it.
We may pull in some guests here on that day.
I hear it's thoroughly bad, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, we may.
You have to.
We may have to pull in some guests.
And what timing?
Yeah.
We are seeing Star Wars.
Oh, that's right.
On
this
Thursday.
Week is, yeah.
So.
I'm so excited for that. It's going to be so much fun. But you know what? I think it's time to wrap it up. We've got holiday crap we got to get done. And
I have a lot of dishes.
We have a lot of dishes.
I have so much dishes.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to listen to us. If you're in your car, drive safe. If you're not, and you're just walking around, don't run into anything. Because I've been seeing that a lot at my work.
I'm notorious for doing that.
Yeah, and whatever time of the day it is, I hope it's a wonderful, warm, sunny day and not freezing cold. Unless you really want a white Christmas, then enjoy yourself. So, anyways, have a great and fantastic whatever time of the day it is, and we will talk to you later.
Doodles.
See ya. Bye-bye.